2D decision boundaries. So this figure depicts the same data set that we've been looking at, which is the iris flower data set. But now we're going to do a decision boundary in 2D, right? So we have the petal length in centimeters and we have the petal width in centimeters. And now I can go ahead and plot all these out. So hopefully I can do a little bit finer tuning prediction, because before, when I did a 1D prediction, I was only ever able to predict a vertical line, which might not be the best way to, to classify things. So I can break this out into 2D. So again, I've got my versicolor mostly on the bottom left and my Virginsia on the top right. I can get probability functions again. So I can go ahead and build a model, only 2 parameters, right? Slope and offset for this model. And that's the model defined by something like theta 0 plus theta 1 x, which is the same as y equals mx plus b. We've just reordered it into the theta we have. And this middle term here is 50%, right? So that's a very good decision boundary, but maybe I wanted to move my decision boundary up to 90%. And you'll notice if I have my decision boundary set at 90%, I classify all of my Virginsia right. So I'm going to have very good precision, right? But I might not have the best recall. Or I can bring it all the way down to 0.1 and I'd have very good recall, but I might not have the best accuracy. And so those are some of the tuning that you can do in a 2D system. And scale all the way from 90% to 10%. Or, you're 90% certain it's a Virginsia, or maybe you're 90% certain it's not a Virginsia. It's probably not the way that I would phrase that, right? You're 10% certain that it's not, that it's a Virginsia. Would probably be a better way to phrase it. But 2D decision making definitely helps. Logit regression does not end at 2D, right? You can do this in 3D. You can do it in 4D. You have 4 dimensions on these plots. And maybe with all 4 dimensions, you can actually start to get all of this classified, although, however, I don't think you can. But 2D is the most that we can kind of clearly do on a piece of paper.